I'm going to give you 2 questions to ask yourself when you get injured in running, and these 2 questions have helped me figure out what I need to do with an injury. I've dealt with shin splints, bottom of the foot pain, ankle pain, hip pain, lower back pain, knee pain. I've dealt with runner's knee. A lot of those things I was able to fix by asking these 2 questions. When I first did the One Punch Man workout, I did it for about 2 weeks straight. Like, I took breaks on the weekend, but I did it 5 days a week. If you're not familiar with that, the One Punch Man workout, this is in an anime, and he talks about how the way he became the strongest person in the world is he did 100 squats, 100 sit-ups, 100 push-ups, and ran a 10K every single day. So I was like, this sounds like a fun little challenge. I just wanted to do it 5 days a week, opposed to every day. And I did it for maybe like 2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks, and then I got shin splints. And I was like, well, shit. Like, now what do I do? So I took time off, then got back to running a couple months later. Guess what I got again? Shin splints. And so over time, I figured out that when you do the same thing over and over again, we know what that means. That's insanity, right? That's the definition of insanity. And sometimes what we do with injuries is we end up like getting injured, taking time off, feeling better, getting back into running, dealing with the same injury, or maybe it shifted a little bit and you're injured again. And it breaks my heart when runners go through this. I've gone through this. So there's 2 questions I ask myself when I have pain or when I get injured, and it helps me know how to go about this. So when I have knee pain, for example, when I got runner's knee after a 100-mile race, this is what I asked myself. I said, where in my body could I be too tight that's causing this pain? And where in my body that if I had more strength, I wouldn't deal with this pain? So basically, to simplify those questions, where do I need to be more flexible? Where do I need to be stronger to fix this injury? I need, like, disclaimer, I know overuse injuries are a real thing. Like, if you have a fracture, you tear something, totally get it. Go take the medical professional route, go get an x-ray, listen to what they say, take your peptides, whatever you need to do. My point is a lot of these overuse injuries that we blame on overuse are not overuse injuries, in my opinion. When I had those shin splints, what I really think was going on is I was not strong enough and my form was bad. So was it that I was overusing my body or that I wasn't using my body properly? And I think this is the interesting thing that helps you figure out injuries better. Is it that you're running too much when you run for 3 miles and feel knee pain? Or do you use your body wrong when you run? Maybe it's form. Maybe you're too tight, maybe you're not strong enough. So when you ask these 2 questions, let's walk through a couple examples. When you ask these 2 questions, for example, with runner's knee, where do I need to be more flexible? So if you're tight, of course you're going to be in pain. If you hurt in your knee, maybe your quad's too tight and it's pulling on your knee. Or maybe your tibialis muscle. Or maybe your hamstring. Maybe even your ankle's too tight so it works its way up and pulls on your knee. So when you have some sort of injury like runner's knee, or maybe the bottom of your foot hurts, where in your body could you be more flexible? Maybe you just need to massage out the bottom of your foot, get a lacrosse ball, stretch your toes. I know that sounds funny, but there are some toe and feet stretches you can do. That would help, and maybe that's what's causing the injury, is that you're too tight. Maybe it's not tightness. Maybe you're super flexible or you've been stretching for a while and you haven't had, fixed the problem. Where in your body that if you were stronger, you wouldn't have this pain? So maybe you're actually too weak. And I don't mean that as an insult, but maybe your muscles are not developed enough to be able to withstand the impact of what you're doing. So for example, knee pain, when I had runner's knee, what I realized is my tibialis muscle was too weak. So along with stretching out my quad, what I did without taking a lot of time off, I reduced my volume, but I wasn't off of running. I would stretch out my quad, and then I would do what I called tibialis curls. And since this, I've not experienced runner's knee and I have not had shin splints. What tibialis curls are where you take a kettlebell or a 5-pound plate, you stick your big toe or your toes in the whole section, so then you can hold the weight with your toes and you curl it like this. So if this is my foot, my ankle, my shin, what I'm doing is I'm holding the weight with my toes and I'm curling it, and so I'm strengthening this tibialis muscle. When I started doing that, it only took me a couple days, and then my runner's knee went away, which actually blew my mind. I actually was considering taking months off, because that's what you're supposed to do for runner's knee. Not in my situation, because I found out where I was too tight that was causing pulling and pain, and I found out where I was too weak so I couldn't support the volume in the running. And so there's a lot of different examples with this shin splints. Maybe it's your tibialis muscle. Maybe the bottom of your feet are weak. And so it's a weak foundation all the way up to your back. Another thing with like back pain is maybe your hamstrings are too tight. The hamstrings absolutely pull on the hips, which pull on the back. And I think I've learned a lot of this stuff because I'm a certified yoga teacher. I don't teach a lot of classes, but I went and got my certification. And just when you realize how connected the body is, I don't think you're overdoing it if you're running 10 miles a week. I think your form is either incorrect, or you're not mobile enough, or you're not strong enough. And so if you don't want to take time off, or you want to heal and work through an injury but not have that same injury or run into the same issue again, you need to ask those questions of where do I need to be more flexible or reduce the tightness of my body that's causing this pain, or where do I need to be stronger so I can support this pain, right? Like however you want to phrase those questions, it's basically where do I need to be more mobile and flexible? Where do I need to be stronger? And let's say you work really seriously at those things and you don't get better. Yeah, maybe there's a stress fracture, maybe there's a tear, maybe it's a pull or something like that. I've just found in like 98% of my injuries, it's actually I'm either not flexible enough or not strong enough. So hopefully you get something out of this video. I hope I save you months of pain and injuries. And if you don't have injuries and you're watching this video, please start strength training and stretching regularly so you don't have to deal with the injuries us runners have to deal with. If you like running content, my name's Reese. I'm just trying to help people learn from my mistakes, hopefully set PRs, and overall deepen their relationship with running, because running's quite literally saved my life. So I hope you can continue that relationship with running or get to understand it better and have it support you better. So if you like that kind of stuff, consider subscribing. If not, that's cool. I hope you get something out of this video anyways, and I hope I get to see you in another video sometime soon. Peace.